All right, so there's some things I want to highlight from this vault hardpoint with OpTic, Texas, and Miami, and why Miami was able to take it. And there was some main things. First, I'm just gonna play like a small little highlight clip, and then we get into the two main points. And the two main points are Miami preventing OpTic from going onto P4, and also the P2. So this first P2 doesn't really matter. It's more about like the next two, but it's the P2s and the P4s that made Miami win. I'll explain more later, but let's just let's just start with this. This is highlighting Real, number 5. Number 5. Take a look how big he goes. Granted, this is only like 18 seconds or so. He gets like 20 seconds, but take a look how big he goes on the hill. So we're just paying attention to number 5. Don't even look what's happening up here. I mean, like, you could actually look after highlights. So number 5's on the hill now. He finesses that first one. Like, the guy dies in the back. He gets shot at. He jiggle peaks. He slides away. Omni movement. He's in the water. Dashi hops in. Doesn't know. 3 shoots at him in the hill. Slides to the right. And then Shotzi doesn't know where he is in the hill because the guy doesn't comment. And Real gets that kill. Goes back in the water. He's chilling there for a bit. Hops back out. He's sliding, getting info. Pisses on Hook on the door. And then he gets another kill on number 4, which is insane. He did so much. Actually, he got way more than fucking 18. I don't know what I'm saying. Got like 28 off of that. It's a big 28. Just big plays from Real. Like, a lot of people on P2 like die pretty quick. But he was able to finesse all that time. And that goes right into my point. So now we're going through that. I'm going to play you a highlight. And this is from a previous game of OpTic. And I've watched their scrims before. And before, they kind of had a strategy of P4 rotation where it'd be mostly Hook and Shotzi, which I think was a more effective way of them getting P4 spawns. They would always get P4 spawns with Hook and Shotzi. You guys saw like my short clip, hopefully, of Shotzi in here, just a finessing, causing havoc. But now recently they've had Kenny in charge of like the P4 rotations, and he usually always plays for it. Like, you could look at their like last 2-3 games. He goes early. Like, he goes on P2. Like, a number 1, Kenny goes very early to try to get P4 spawns. You're going to see right now 18 seconds on P2 taking the Omega route, because OpTic kind of has a plan where, like, if so OpTic has a plan, like, if we get it early, if we get the BMP3, like, we're confident enough that we're going to hold it the whole time. Like, we're not going to wait till, like, halfway or, like, a quarter through P3 and then start playing for it. So when we have it, and it's too late for them to try to get it back. Like, OpTic plays for it early. But take a look how Miami counters this. So first I'm going to play the example up above. So it's Kenny against Ultra in their last Major 1 qualifier match, and how easy he has. He has a one-on-one with Kleenex or Inside, I forgot who. I mean, you're going to see it above. And just how easy it is for him to take that P4 spawn. Miami did their homework. You could even tell in the S&Ds that they did their homework as well. Even in Hardpoint, they did their work as well. I'm going to highlight a play that Shotzi made in the Skyline Hardpoint that Miami read perfectly well, and they had people for it. I'm going to highlight that in a different video. But Miami reads this. So 8 gets this spawn, and immediately he's also going, because I think he already knows that Kenny's going for it too. He's looking for him. Sees him. But the difference between Miami and other teams is other teams kind of left Kenny in a one-on-one with whoever their guy in their back was. And Ultra is like the only other team besides Miami that I've seen use 2 guys to secure like the spawns as opposed to just 1. And I'm talking about like this early on. Like, Ultra in like the scrims they play with OpTic had multiple people back there, and I think even in the game. But not this past Major 1 qualifier. Take a look at how 8 realizes he's there. He had 6 for help. He was actually able to get it himself. but they get the spawns for it. And Miami never let go of this, and OpTic just had no success on P4 this whole game. And I always say P4 wins you a vault hard point, and this rings true. No matter how bad your game is going, if you could lock down like 40 to 50 seconds, dude, your money, your actual money. I don't know why I keep yawning. It's actually insane. But just take a look how Miami's able to hold this, and I'm just gonna play with volume because that doesn't matter. They're very proactive. He gets a crazy kill. Like, that's actually a crazy kill that he gets. And then there's Smoke, who can't even see. And look, they get the spawns, but it doesn't even matter. Or I mean, I was gonna say like he's dying mid, but it doesn't matter. But now they have OpTic in like the pool spawn, like they're already reading it. Like, they have a guy in the back, they have a guy on the side, and they have a guy in the front. Everything locked down. Granted, you could say there was OpTic team kills, would not have mattered. They were not getting this hill anyway. Like, take a look how easy from the cross. Like, even like a number 5 gets number 3. OpTic gets in for like 2 seconds, but they just have way too many numbers there. OpTic finding no success. Look, I mean, like, you're in it for like 2 seconds, you already have it back. Just complete control of P4. I'll even play like the next one, but first, before we get to the next P4, we're gonna go over the P2s because there was a big mistake Miami made here. Alright, so this is the first P2, and the reason why I'm highlighting the P2s is because Miami sort of did troll this one, and OpTic got like all the time from it, but then the very next one, Miami actually made back for it. So on this P2, I'm gonna like pause it after Real gets a 2. So Real gets a big 2. He gets a big 2. He gets these 2 guys, and now just take a look at the arrows on the map. You now have a 4v2 with 9 seconds left going into the P2. This could be hindsight cheese, but I'm thinking he got to scrap the hill, scrap the 8 seconds. This is an advantage. Like, even every time I play now, bro, when you have numbers going into a rotation like a hill break, you just need to take them. Like, you need to go. You need to out trade, because now since OpTic's spawning out, doesn't even matter if like you die around here. If you trade out the back, you're gonna get the back spawns anyway. And they had a 4v2 here, and they just completely died individual. I really mostly want to blame it on Real for just flying out like the back. He probably should have just played in hill with 8 watching over his back. He didn't really have to do much there. And then 6 takes an individual trial, but I'm thinking he could chalk this 8 seconds. If you think like the bigger picture, you're up 116 to 73. You know these kills you got, they're now going to be spawning art. I would just chalk the time, help your team push the back, take spawns, get a big P3, get a big P2 hold, and extend your lead even further. But let's take a look. Real just flies out the way. I thought that was dumb. I even called that out live. Like, just like. And the last thing you want to do is die on rotation, because you want to know what happens when you die on rotation? You spawn the fuck out, especially when they're in the back. Individual child over here, he just has to get, and now he hops off. So it's like, if you were going to hop off anyway, why wouldn't you hop off earlier when your team had after you got the 2-piece in the back spawn? Help. Like, just leave that time alone. It's going to be dead time. By the time OpTic gets there, they're going to get 1 second off of it. But instead, he hops off late. 8 doesn't get the trade, but it doesn't matter because now OpTic now has the numbers basically surrounding. And take a look at where Miami spawns, because this hill's still active, so they're going to spawn there. It's not going to spawn them back there. He's basically already blocking the back anyway. It's not going to spawn them on P2 when P1's popped, and all the arrows are basically covering all the spawn points. They could have gotten that spawn, but that's just like not likely. So it gave them like the deep spawn. You know how deep of a spawn this is when P2's popped? Deep ass spawn. So basically, yeah, so they occupied that spawn, so you got that spawn. And now, like, they have a collapse on them. Now it's only, like, 2 guys. This guy's, like, all by himself. 8's on the hill by himself, so he just hops off. And then, like, they get him right in the back. Immediately, like, Ford's going for spawn kills. And now OpTic just has a great. OpTic does a very good hold on this because, first of all, Shotzi gets pushed up on pool because, like, something that's annoying when you're on P2 is getting peppered by the guy over here. Immediately relieves the pressure from there. And the second that guy dies, now 8 can't push up with his team. Now he's like instantly looking to his side, like, oh fuck. And I like this setup from OpTic. They have a guy blocking the back. He's at an angle where like they can't spawn in the back because if he were to move like here, like Miami could actually like spawn in the back for every kill that they die because you're not blocking it anymore. You're not looking at it, and it wants to spawn you as close as possible, especially with number 2 pushed up. So the angle he's at, like he has to be at that angle, otherwise they would spawn in the back. Like if he like pushes up here, they're gonna spawn there. That's why it gives you like the hill spawn. Like I said before, if you ever get the hill spawn, it means they're spawning in the back. And the thing I like about this setup is he's on like the heady, which means he could see all of this to help Shotzi, and he could see all this to basically help Dashi and also Hook. And Hook's not being useless in the hill. Because they're in a predicament where even if Hook were to die, he'd probably still spawn on the hill because they have so much fucking numbers around here. Like, unless it would go catastrophic, unless number 4 dies and he dies, I mean, he'll probably still get that spawn anyway, to be honest, unless they just flooded the back. But the thing I like about this is, like, he could see everything. He could help Shotzi. Like, he's on a heady. He's probably not even aimed in. Probably just, like, zoomed out so he could see everything. He has hallway. He has that. Hook being proactive on the hill, not just laying down, even though I do prefer people to lay down. But he's in a position where doesn't have to worry about getting shot from poolside because you have Shotzi and Kenny there, so he's not going to get shot. He's hugging up against like a wall in there, which means they can't even see him from there, and he could be proactive. He's watching his front. Everyone's got everyone's crossfire, like crossfire. He's just doing his thing, but he has the crossfire of everything, crossfire this. Yeah, so it's just a very good. So Kenny gets the first one. Doesn't even matter if he dies. Because take a look at OpTic has this. Because now it's a 3v3. But Miami's not really in a good spot, even though they get the spawn for it. Still has full control. They're in a good enough spot which gives Dashi enough time to get back in it. Like Miami probably could have collapsed, but like 2 has all this cover. They're still worried about him because they know he's still around here. And 3's on the hill, basically has his whole front. He has the back, and this gives Dashi enough time to spawn in because Kenny gets the kill in the back. And even though Shotzi dies, look who has his coverage. Hook on the hill. Hook pops a 2. Immediately, Dashi's right back in there for the crossfire. And now OpTic gets this, and Miami doesn't even touch this. So this is like the first P2. I thought that was like a good break. But if Real didn't fly out the back, if the guy on the hill, which I think was lucky on P1, just decided to help, Miami probably get that time, and it's not 120 to 120 because that was big time OpTic got. That whole lead Miami worked hard for in the beginning was now gone, and I was thinking, like how are they going to get through this? And now immediately you already see him like on like the P4 fucking roto instantly. Like this time Kenny didn't even have a chance because they're already holding fucking P2, but he's already there. And I'm pretty sure they hold that down the whole entire time. So we can play this. Like, they never let go. This is like Miami on P4 red card when P3's popped. Like, when P3's popped, they're constantly fighting for, like, the top side. Like, they don't want to be in the parking lot ever. If a guy's ever parking lot, he's trying to get out. He, like, never bangs the hill. Like, they sort of bang the hill on red card, but they always keep the outer spawn because they think bigger picture. They know P4 on red card's a money hill. They know P4 on this map is a money hill. And notice how they never give it up. You see how many teams get P4 spawns super early and they always end up freaking giving it up. Miami never gave it up. And that is so typical, especially against a team like OpTic. Look at how they always have each other's trades. Like, it doesn't even matter what's going on here. Look, instantly helps 7, gets 4. And they have the spawns. Even though Miami's spawning out, take a look how Miami's able to deal with this. Like they get Kenny in the middle, instantly gets another one in the back, and they already have control of the back again. So I get us for one that instantly. So Right after they get Dashy, I can't even rewind it to here. So he sees Ashy. Immediately 6 forgets about the guy on P3, shoots that guy, like, and then he goes back to that guy, takes that guy out. And now look, they're rotating around the back. They're just trying to buy time for like their team. They're not flying in. He's going around the back just to see if he get like a cutoff. Goes right in the hill. They basically know where everyone is. Like, so I want to try to like explain this. So just notice like the angles that Miami takes and like the shape that they play with. Like the shape that they're playing with is basically like, so after they get like number 1 out the way, basically like the shape that they take is like, I mean, granted it's the only place OpTic could spawn anyway, but take a look how all the arrows, like, take a look how like a number 7 plays. Even when number 7 goes in the hill, he's only focused on that. When he takes that, 6 has his back covered. There's no like, they have every line of sight. I actually wish I had like that marker right now. I wish I had that marker right now. But they have this whole thing covered. Like, take a look at the arrows are all like staring in the same direction. Like, it might look like the obvious thing to do because OpTic's all pool, but like sometimes a situation like this, like you see a guy like in the hill, like not really doing anything, or a guy up P1, maybe staring down there. Like, take a look at this shape. I love like the shape that they're playing with, and this just like teamwork. This is like super teamwork. Like, I dare you to go and find like another team playing with like a shape like this, or I mean, not really like a shape like this. How do I explain that? It looks so obvious because OpTic's all poolside, but like I know a lot of teams like don't play like this, and like it's such like how many, like, just the shape when like we all know that they're all poolside. The fact that he goes onto the hill, aims at the door, he's standing there, aiming there, he covers his back after he leaves, and 8 is about to get into position up top, and like this is just beautiful. And then after they get him out, then they fucking start pushing up. So now I want to highlight Miami's revenge at P2. Miami's revenge at P2. So we're going to see Lucky with a great route. Who not watching this gets the guy catwalk. And now take a look at the right takes. Gets a crazy gunfight on Shotzi right there. That was super huge. Shotzi didn't even get a bullet into him. And Miami's able to hold this P2 and get revenge for that P2 that they actually did troll on, honestly. But now, like, they got like they literally have all like the crossfires. Hold on, where's my mouse? Holy cow, my mouse is like fucking faded. Like, even though they get number 8, now the positions that they hold is just like the buy time. Even though he's literally gonna spawn in the back. They got the double crossfires. They know since OpTic have numbers, they're probably just gonna fly. They're probably not gonna take any routes. So he's taking a 50-50, not even watching his mid, which I thought was great. Like, they're just focused on the pressure where the pressure is gonna come. They know OpTic's gonna try to flood right through the front, and then after they get the kills, now number 6 trying to take some space, just pissing on him. Has his trades up top, gets that. Look, just keep him the fuck away from the hill. And now he's in a spot. OpTic's now tweaking. OpTic's probably gonna get like the back spawns, and they're completely aware of it. Number 7 already looking for it. Number 7 gets the spawn kill. Fucking 5 keeping the bro. This all goes like so fast. I should play in like 0.5. I swear it all just goes by way too fast. And look, so like, you notice how like we talked about the last time where like he was like right there blocking the back so he wouldn't spawn there. Number 7 realizes before this died, we don't have any line of sight on the back. Since no one's covering the back, the game's always going to spawn you there. And I like the position that they have, because on the hill, 8 could like see up top. 6 is in the same spot that Kenny was in. Like, complete coverage, keeping OpTic away from the hill, not even allowing him to get close. And like 5 was actually doing a great job here. Literally Rancor watching over his back. So number 7 gets that kill. 5 still up on the catwalk, sprinting around. And like, even though he gets his kill, take a look at number 7 right along there. And then notice how where 7 is, 8 has him. 8 has him covered for the easy trade. Like, just beautiful teamwork, knowing where your teammates are and getting the trades, and they actually soak all this time, bro. And he gets another big gunfight. Fucking Metals had a lot of big gunfights this game. It doesn't even matter. Look at them soaking the time. And it was basically like GG's from here, bro. It was actually GG's from here. I thought Miami played this great. Great. And like, it's actually so tippable that like, you know, you're playing OpTic on their best map and you troll that first P2, you troll like a 50-point lead, OpTic comes back, you have the resilience, you are very disciplined on your P4s to like get majority time, don't let OpTic get it, because if OpTic got any of those P4s, it was fucking over. And then the P2, the big play from Lucky, the man that I said needed to be dropped, coming through with the big plays that all the statistics don't really show. I thought that was great. And notice how they have extra coverage. Like, they are looking for Kenny instantly. I mean, fucking granted, he actually did fucking shoot there, to be honest. But notice how early, like, Evan got there. Like, he's already there with 8 seconds left. Like, he is waiting for Kenny. Fucking Kenny spawns right in his iron, which is insane. That's fucking insane to me, actually. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even fucking see that spawn. Like, take a look at number 6. Instantly, he shoots it. Now 6 is like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna come help you. 7's like, help me, help me, help me. And they double team him in the back. They're not even focused on P3. Like, yeah, this guy's here and he's fucking getting some shots in, but he will turn like whenever it's fucking necessary. Like, he'll turn whenever it's necessary. Like, after like 6 gets info, now look at 7. Now 7 turns. Like, even though he's able to read it, take a look, they got damage on him. Now he's just sliding out because he's already one shot. He kind of already gave up there. And they ISO'd Kenny on the P4 rotations. Like, Kenny needed help on the P4 rotations. He needed a hook and a Shotzi to help him. The second on like the first P4, when he realizes, okay, they're going like, they're fucking two-manning me. He needs to like say, guys, on the P4 roto, I need some help. I can't do this myself. The same way Shotzi sometimes, especially in scrims, like I saw sometimes when they play scrims, if Shotzi needed help, like Hook was always there, or like Kenny was there. I forgot who, but like I played them already. Like, you actually saw them earlier. I edited them after, but yeah, he always had help if he needed it. Like, can't do it on your own, especially when Miami does their, like, you could tell Miami did their homework on OpTic in this series. Like, you could see it in the S&Ds, the way they knew certain spots OpTic was going to be in. Like, that's just like good teamwork right there. That's good teamwork. That's good coaching, doing your homework on people, because especially when you're a lower team playing a higher team, especially a team that some people tout as the best team in the game, I don't know why, got to do your homework. You got to gain any edge that you possibly can. And this is the last P4. I guess we'll just play this through. I'm assuming Miami just closed it on here. I actually forgot already. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure they closed it on here. And even though 6 dies, like, they have the numbers in the back and they get at the spawns, he's hard aiming his back because it's the only place it's going to come from. Rancor gets the big kill in art. They just, OpTic they needed P4 rotos like bad, like at least one time. If they had P4 roto at least once, then they probably win the game. Or if Shotzi gets the kill on the P2 roto on Lucky, they probably win the game from that as well. Very good teamwork from Miami. Very good win.